So this is a 100-foot Douglas fir tree in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. It's in my tree gym, and I do what I call a tree solo, which is actually a free solo of the tree. Um, and this particular tree, again, it's got 85 feet of climbing. The start here is about 5'9" in gymnastic difficulty. Maybe 9 plus even. There's a bunch of dead branches at the bottom, and you can see I'm working through some kind of skinny and dead branches, which can be a bit tricky. And I am free soloing, so you definitely don't want to fall off here. And you can see higher up, the branches get better, they're thicker, they're actually alive, which is nice. So they're stronger, less brittle. And so the climbing does get safer and easier, the higher up that I go. So as I'm rolling, carry on up again, free soloing, one move at a time. I've got 3 different areas of the city where I've got tree climbs, and each area is about 500 feet of tree climbing, so 1,500 feet in total. And because you're free soloing, you got to climb up, you got to climb down. So in total, in aggregate, I have 3,000 feet of tree climbing in my hometown of Calgary here. In this particular area, there's over 1,000 feet of climbing in this particular area. This tree is the biggest tree that I've found in the area here. It's about 100 feet high, and I climb up about 85 feet. My rule for tree climbing is I'll go up until I start to feel silly. And when I start to feel a bit silly, then it's time to come down. I also look for trees that have a minimum of 40 feet of climbing, and they also have to be what I call recreational. And what do I mean by recreational? It has to be, something that I'm comfortable and confident enough to do weekly. I don't want to do a serious tree with a lot of exposure where if I make a mistake, I have very little chance of saving myself. So you can see up in the branches up here, the climbing is low 5th class. There's a lot of branches. If I slip or a branch breaks, you can see here, I'm going to get quite a few chances to save myself at this kind of stage. So that's what I call recreational. And you can hear me breathing here. So there's in the upper part of the tree, it's low 5th class, but I'm getting my heart rate up. So in total, these trees got some power moves typically at the bottom. There's an endurance component, and there's an aerobic component.
Okay.
You can hear me breathing.
Good value. Still not at the top here. Another 20 feet.
So yeah, I don't mind telling you, I'm a little out of breath. And also when I'm filming here, I'm climbing up with the tripod and setting the tripod up and climbing up and down. I probably climbed the tree twice or more while I was filming here, and being careful not to kick the tripod and whatnot. Made it a little more entertaining, but I'm getting a bit of a burn on here, and I've taken in my tree gym here in Calgary, I've taken some non-climbers on some of the easier stuff, and give them a spot here and there on some of the difficult starts that are up to 5'10". But I've also taken buddies who are hard 5'12" climbers, and we did a 1,000-foot route, and they were, Steve, this is actually a really good workout. I'm kind of getting a pump here, and boy, this is a hell of a lot of fun, and it really is. It's a real psychophysical kind of meditation, climbing in the trees. You can climb alone, you can climb with a partner or two. On occasion, I've had a friend that felt like they wanted a rope. They didn't have the confidence to free solo in the tree, so I just went up with a rope and gave them a rope later, on an old piece of climbing rope. Just made a station to blade them up. So it is possible, even for rank beginners with very little experience, to come up and have some fun. So as you can see here, I'm getting towards the top. At the bottom, the circumference of the tree is about 15 feet. And so I'm getting close to where I'm at the top, my high point, 85 feet up, starting to, okay, if I go higher than this, that's going to start to feel a bit silly. There's my high point. There's the view out over Fish Creek Park in Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Okay, that's about me. 85 feet. Okay, time to go down.
So again, we're free soloing. So how do you get down? You don't have a rope with you, you got to climb down. Climbing down is equally as difficult as climbing up. Some people might even say it's even harder. It's also got a risk factor. You got to pay attention. You want to have 3 points of contact as you're climbing up and you're climbing down. Being out and having some risk associated with the workout, I don't mind telling you, it's cerebrally engaging. It's not a ridiculous amount of risk, but it's not without risk. I mean, if you did fall and you didn't catch yourself, you know what? You could be injured. You could be killed. If you ended up bouncing the whole way or between branches all the way down, yeah, you might survive, but you know what? You might not. So it's like free soloing, on rock. It's definitely more forgiving than free soloing on rock. So here I am getting very close to the bottom of the tree here. You can see the footholds are, this is a little tricky at the bottom here. And almost down. Great workout, great session. 85 feet of soloing in the mother tree in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and by all means, whatever it is that you're doing out there, respect the risk, have fun. We'll see you next time.